Hey everybody, it is me again, Luna. We are watching Wrestlemania 2. A little less excited about this one than I was number 1, but you know what? We're going to get through it. Let's get into it. Hey there, Greg and Big Dog. How's it going, y'all? So, Wrestlemania 2, Wrestlemania 1. You know what? If you guys remember from last week, I was not, too stoked about that. It was from the 80s, blah, 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 85. But now we're getting into Wrestlemania 2, also before I was born, 1986. But this card is looking a little interesting. But Jake the Snake is there. And Roddy Piper, even though he's against Mr. T. But, the one that I'm the most confused about, because this is a WrestleMania that I have never seen before. I will not lie. I don't think I've, besides like Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy, maybe. This is not one that I'm familiar with. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But the National Football League players square off against the best of the world WWF superstars. But we're starting off with a very young Vince McMahon. Okay, pop off. He looks so much like Shane. Him and Shane are twins. When was I born? I'll give you my birthday. It was July 1st, 1980 something, but it definitely was not here. I'm not giving you my age. I'm sorry. Pause. But Vince McMahon is here. And oh my God. Him and his little bow tie. He actually looks like a proper gentleman. Love it. Ray Charles? Is that Ray Charles? Man, remember when the WWE, the WWF, like they had some pretty cool, like Cyndi Lauper was last week. Now we got Ray Charles. And now we're probably in, the rumor is WrestleMania 40, we're going to be getting Cardi B. My cat is running away. My cat really doesn't like Ray Charles. I've never seen him run that fast. Oh my God. That you were born in the 90s, very close to the 90s. You can tell Vince is young here because he has all his hair and it's not gray. Yeah, honestly, how old is Vince McMahon now? He's got to be like 72. I mean, he looks good for his age, I guess. I taught a putty tat. Yeah, my cat is, you will see him a lot in these streams. He pops up here and there. But yeah, I would love to get, I don't know. Like not Cardi B for WrestleMania. Can we do that? Vince McMahon is 78 years old. Okay, you know what? We got to give it to the man. He looks good for his age. Bathing in the blood of thy enemies will do that too, I guess. But I don't know what just happened there. I apologize. We're having like a rainstorm here today, so I don't know what just happened there, but there's a shit ton of rain coming down right now. Lee press on here will make an old man look great. That's so mean. Oh my god. I was gonna say poor Vince, but no. You can drag Vince McMahon. I'm okay with that. Kevin, hi. Good morning. Good morning. It is morning time. I was gonna do my background today, but I got in a fight with my green screen. So I promised I would have up Baby Shark this week, but didn't work out in my favor. Next week for sure. Jeez, Ray Charles has been on for like an hour. No wonder this is 3.5 hours. 3 hours? Something like that. We're getting Tito Santana versus Junkyard versus Terry. Oh God, this is taking. Okay. Big Dog, it's raining down here too. It's supposed to rain all day on and off. Supposed to be because of a hurricane down near Florida. Oh shit. It's Roddy Piper. Yeah, it's raining. Like I'm pretty far from Florida, but it is raining so fucking hard here today. It is insane. So Roddy Piper is backstage cutting a promo. He is going up against Mr. T. Hot Rod. Yeah, he's going up against Mr. T on this pay-per-view. So he is literally the best. I don't even care. I would probably put him at number 2 on my favorite Canadian wrestlers. 2 or 3? 2. Let's go 2, actually. I'm Kentucky. We're getting a backdrop of it. What's Kentucky like? Like, I have no interest in seeing Mr. T wrestle, like, ever. But if it's up against Hot Rod, I'm going to take it. I will take it. But yeah, I don't know if we're getting something from Florida or what, but it's like knocking down trees and stuff. It's crazy out here. Okay, so what is this? This is... Oh my God, Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji. Magnificent Dawn. I don't care about this at all. Hey, Charles, how's it going? Good morning, early afternoon. Piper's the only man Hogan never really beat. He never beat him clean, either won by countout or DQ. And when Hogan turned heel, he got a heel win over Roddy, never beat him fair or square. Charles Fuji was a great heel, 100%. I completely forgot he existed until this moment. So right now we're getting Mr. Wonderful and the Magnificent Morocco. I'm saying that wrong, but I really don't know who these people are. The great thing about watching all of these pay-per-views is I'm gaining a new appreciation for people I know a little bit about, which I really like. But this guy, I don't know. The more I saw him, like I know a bit about this, Mr. Wonderful Paul. But I don't think I'm a fan. I don't think I like him very much. He gives me bad vibes. Watch him be like the nicest guy in the world, but he gives me the worst vibes. Maybe he's supposed to. I don't know. Yeah, I'm fast forwarding through some of that. I have no interest in this. Wonderful was another great heel, apparently, because I'm getting the bad vibes. So he's doing an excellent job. Kevin says hi to Big Dog. Mr. Wonderful is out in the, oh my God, out in the crowd, and he grabbed a chair and threw it in. And that chair did not fucking fold. They were not joking around. Piper refused to put Hogan over. Kentucky, Connecticut. Kentucky is okay. It has its moments. People around here are obsessed with the lottery. Oh my God. Why with the lottery? Like scratch tickets, lottery tickets, shit like that. Oh my God. Like you're never going to win. I always get stuck behind those people at the freaking corner store every single time. And they take forever. Like just scratch, and they want to scratch their ticket on the counter. It's like, just move, get out of my way. You're not going to win. You're going to win your $3, if that. Just move on and get out of my life. But Piper refused to put Hogan over as he right call on Piper's. Yo, Kev. Now we have Mr. T backstage cutting his little promo. With a little person massaging his lower to mid arm. I pity the foo. Should I watch the A-Team? Is that worth watching? George the Animal Steel. Hey. Big Dog, Powerball, Mega, Scratch Offs, you name it, they want it. People think if they win the lottery, they can quit their job by, I mean, That's why everybody plays the lottery, right? They play the lottery at my work, like everybody pools in. I just don't bother. And of course, because I don't bother, they're probably going to win and I'm going to have to stay there running the salon. During the initial run, Piper refused to put the majority of people over. It was all about protecting his character. I mean, yeah, I guess, but he oh my god, sorry, Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth just came on the screen. I got distracted by all the gold. Yeah, I mean, like, if he refused to put people over, that's his. If it was anybody else, that's toxic behavior. But because it's Roddy Piper, that's fine. The A-Team was a great show. I think you'd like it. There are some episodes that Hulk Hogan was in. Maybe I'll watch a couple. You can't draw money by yourself. Ooh, yeah. He's the best. The whole love story between Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth in real life makes me so sad. George the Animal Steel is so creepy. I cannot with him. I absolutely cannot. Ronnie. Hi, everyone. Cup of coffee in the big time. Oh, I'm not even going to try his voice. No, I can't do it. I can't. I think I tried to do Hulk Hogan last week. I'm not trying. Big Dog Macho Man was another one who had serious heat with Hulk Hogan in real life. You ought to hear what Brett Hogan. Sorry, rainstorm. It's happening. Macho Man. Well, it seems like a lot of people had a heat with Hogan, right? And I think, unfortunately, when it comes to big stars like that, like HBK, Hogan, you have a huge ego. You have to be a little bit narcissistic. And to make it to the top, you kind of have to step on a lot of people to get there, right? Like, besides people like obviously there's people like Undertaker that kind of just became a locker room leader and you don't really hear a lot of like bad stories about him, kind of helped people, whatever. But for the most part, like I feel like, yeah, you have all these people screaming your name night in, night out. So sorry, George Steele is now biting Macho Man Randy Savage on the calf. So we have that going right now. Um, yeah, you got to kind of step on the little man. Your ego and narcissism makes it okay because if you're not a sociopath, um, you're probably not gonna kick people while they're below you. Punching below your weight in the locker room. So Big Dog Nick, I'm gonna have to join you guys. Like Hi, KJ White and Big Nick. Hi. I can be both of those people right now. So, George, the Animal Steel, and Macho Man right now are. Oh my God. Macho Man just climbed under the ring. So. And he came out the other side and just jumped him. Okay, this match is giving me life. This is exciting. This I like. Nick is having a Red Bull with the Sandman. A Red Yeah, I heard the Sandman. I heard he quit drinking. Like he'll show up at indie shows and just pour beer on people. Like good for him. Wrestling for Life Network. Hey, hey. Loved George when I was a kid. He freaks me out. Freaked me out back in the day. Freaks me out now. I like again. That's probably what he's supposed to do, but I'm not. That is one furry big man, and I'm not used to seeing wrestlers with that much hair. It just throws me off. Not the Sandman I was talking about, but that. Oh, sorry. ECW on the mind at all times. George the Animal Steel just ripped open the turnbuckle with his teeth. I love him. It should have been the one you were talking about. Always talk about the Sandman. George Steele is the only man I know who has more hair on his body than Dutch Mantle. Yeah, it's something to see, that's for sure. Steve G, hello. Hi. I don't remember seeing this. Oh, okay. I was too busy talking. I didn't know that this match is Randy Savage is the intercontinental champion right now, and this is a title match. Randy Savage versus George. Why do I kind of want George to win? Like I love Randy, but this man is nuts. He's just pulling apart the turnbuckle with his teeth. He's biting people on the calf. I love this match and I will be watching it again very soon because this is the kind of chaos that I like. This is it right here. That's what Steele did. It was his signature to bite open the turnbuckle pads. That's what George. Oh, but he's like spitting the like fluff into his hair. I don't know. I don't know. And it's like stuck in his back hair. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Macho Man won. I'm at okay. Steve G. Sorry, I'm late. Didn't get the notification. Hey, Steven. We're only into the second match right now. Wait till you see the end of the match. He's just he's just eating the turnbuckle for no apparent reason right now. What is he? Like I remember him from when I was a kid, but I don't I don't know, y'all. Like, what am I waiting? And now they're just sweeping up turnbuckle off of like Mean Gene's feet. A1. Steve G is saying good morning to a KJ. Wait for it. Oh, I waited. I saw. I'm scared. I'm gonna need more of that man in my life. Like I remember him when I was but like I don't know. I don't know, man. Steve G, a lot of people refuse to put Hogan over. Well, I mean, again, he like from my understanding, he wasn't exactly the nicest person or easy to get along with. So why would you want to? Especially when he would put himself over so often, like, but I don't know. I don't understand. Again, we talked about this last week. Hogan is pretty much main eventing every WrestleMania until like I don't know, 95. I don't fucking know. But who is it this time? Oh, it's Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy. I understand why Hulk Hogan is relevant in the world of pro wrestling. I completely get it. I'm just not a fan. Good morning to you also, Luna. Hello. Sweeping up the turnbuckle, you say, was George the Animal Steel having a buffet in the corner? He sure was. George Steele would do a few things with the oddities in 1998. I will go back. Now I love him, and I want more of him in my life. So. So I know about the oddities, but I know the oddities, but I don't, for some reason, it's not clicking for me. So now we have Jake the Snake coming out. Is he okay? What's going on? Oof. Steve G, fun fact, Hogan wasn't even the best of his generation. He couldn't even lace up Ric Flair's boots. And you know what? I'm not really a huge fan of either one of them. But if I had to choose one over the other, I'm with you, Steve G. Like Ric Flair was better on the mic. He was better in the ring. I think he had a better overall career, even going into TNA and all that stuff. But I guess just his all-American thing, like am I, Charles, are you a heel or baby face type of fan? I think I'm more of a heel fan, actually. Now that I think about it. Hogan got over because he was basically a walking cartoon that went over the top super duper good guy image. Yeah, and maybe that's why I don't like him because like Charles just asked, I'm more of a heel fan. So maybe that's why I just didn't really care. His over the top, like, I am American shtick. And like, didn't he like made a like a adult Sorry, it's going to keep doing that because of the little storm. So I apologize. The problem with Hogan is he was always had creative control in all of his contracts, and if he didn't want to put someone over, he wouldn't. Ask Jeff Jarrett about that. Love Jake the Snake's theme song. Big Dog Luna, what's your take on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler forming an alliance? I love it. I call them the Fierce Foundation. Okay, it's fine. I just kind of want her to do Shayna Baszler. I mean, I kind of just want her to be Shayna Baszler. Like she attached herself to Ronda Rousey, and now I don't know. One of the radio jockey buddies, Bubba, Bubba the Loves, I forgot about that too. Basically invited him over to do his wife and had cameras set up without Hogan knowing it. I didn't know that. That's really messed up. First of all, why would you want somebody to come over and F you? I'm not kink shaming. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But I don't get that one, and I don't have to get it. So that's great. Oh my God, he brought the snake out. He brought the snake out. Jake the Snake brought that poor snake. That poor snake. Of snakes, I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm really not. I had snakes growing up. I had I had a lot of weird animals growing up. My brother had like a scorpion. We had two tarantulas in the house. We had snakes. I had a 7-foot iguana that would walk around my house. I'm not afraid of snakes at all. But this poor fucking snake, like the shit that I hear, they just throw it around and I just feel bad. It's very abusive. Damien. That was my first dog's name too, Damien. Zoe Starks is great. She deserves a big push. She's from out here also, like Brian Cage, LA Knight, and many others. Robert did a spot once where he made the Cobra bite Randy Savage. I remember hearing about that. They milked it of its venom first. Yeah, for sure. That would still hurt. I got bit by one snake in my life, and it was just like a small gardener snake or whatever and it bit me right here on the inside of the finger, and holy shit, that hurt. So I could not imagine being bit by like a frigging python. There are about 100 different Damiens over Jake's WWF run. Yeah, I don't think they could use the same one. Like I'm sure some of them expired. Yeah. Don't worry about Damien Luna, Big Dog. Jake is a master snake handler and he loves the snakes. He never hurt them or get them hurt. I know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm sure they're fine. I'm just like I can't even watch like people that like I don't know. I can't when it comes to animals or lizards or anything. Just makes me so sad. Where is that comment? That Cobra died not long after biting Randy. Maybe he was allergic to Slim Jims. One got away in the hotel room, except for that one snake he left in the trunk of his car in the middle of the winter. Here's the thing. Like, I don't want to bring up anything too negative, but Jake the Snake had some issues, you know? And when you're under the influence, your love and care kind of dwindles. Do you know what I mean? And like also accidents happen when you're handling animals, especially live crowd, you're in the ring, you know, I don't know. Big Dog. Oh yeah, Jake was a boozer and a doper. He had a lot of demons in his life. Yeah, exactly. So like he may have been a master of things and snakes, but at the end of the day, you know, things got a little touch and go there for a bit. When they filmed Beyond the Mat, Roberts was an absolute train wreck. Oh yeah. Beyond the Mat is amazing, which I also have on VHS. So I'm going to need to pull that out in the next day or two. Joan Rivers. It is crazy seeing Joan Rivers in 1986. Like the Joan Rivers I remember looks nothing. Jake's whole family was a mess, was messed up, very sad. I mean, it's generally generational trauma, right? Todd. Hello, Todd. Wait till you see Kathy Lee Gifford. Oh my God. I know I'm loving seeing all these people from back in the day. Like Joan Rivers. It's so nuts. I mean, I'm sure she was problematic in her own way and she said some stuff, so don't come for me, but I love Joan Rivers. She's great. She is fantastic. Don't even try and change my mind. I love that. Joan Rivers was a prime example of plastic surgery addiction. Yeah, I wonder how many plastic surgeries she had because I don't know if she had a lot over like a small period or she was just so old and had so many over like the span of 60 years. I don't know. The thing that I appreciate about Joan Rivers and her plastic surgery, though, is she was uh, Todd Brantley. I don't know why I say it like that, to be completely honest, but I will continue. Is that Mr. T? I think Mr. T's here. Mr. T versus Roddy Piper. So far, to me, the best match is the George Steele match, for sure. Still zany as fuck. George and Savage are still my fave. Roddy Piper. He's got the, oh God. Cowboy Bob Orton is out here with Roddy Piper, which makes me really happy. And Mr. T, they got their boxing gloves on. Let's go. Okay. Special boxing match. I'm getting a shirt with Mr. T that says, I pity the fools. Can you please? And I also want one, like a very vintage tee. Can you make mine a crop top? Thank you in advance. I will give you money. I don't even really like Mr. T, but I kind of need that shirt. That's the thing. There's some wrestlers that could be toxic as fuck, and I always give them a pass. And I think we all do it, you know? Like, Roddy Piper could literally do anything, and I would still like him. Like, there's a lot of pro wrestling fans that do that with Jeff Hardy, you know? He can do no wrong, even when he does the worst. But Roddy Piper's one of those for me, but RIP anyways, so. Back then, WrestleManias were bearable, and they made them 6 to 8 hour events. The whole WrestleMania 2 night thing, like, how do y'all feel about that for real? Like, because, like, I understand that it's like the biggest event in wrestling history, in pro wrestling still to this day. But 2 nights, 4 hours apiece, I don't know. I just like I do appreciate actually I take it back. I take back everything I said. I do appreciate they put it in 2 pieces. I do appreciate that they also try to get as many people on the card as possible, and that's why it's so long, I guess. But I feel like they should start cutting it down and making WrestleMania feel special again. Like, this isn't a participation trophy. Like, we don't need 8 hours. That being said, a lot of wrestlers work so hard during the year to be on the WrestleMania card. So I'm kind of like torn about how I feel about that. Like the WrestleMania that just passed 39, like night one was better than night two. Like night two, I could have just skipped and got the highlights. Let's be completely honest. But we are pro wrestling. According to Piper, he was forced to tape his fists before he put them in boxing gloves, so he didn't shoot on Mr. T here. There was legit heat between these two. Can somebody please look up what the heat between Roddy Piper and Mr. T was? Because there has to be a reason. Whether that reason was silly or not, I don't know, but I want to know what was the reason? Or maybe they just didn't like each other. Daniel Price pay-per-views were better back in the day when they were able to condense everything they needed to within 3 hours. Well, now they can't even condense a friggin' Raw down into 3 hours properly or into 2 hours. Their weekly episode. Like, we don't need all of this fluff, you know? Todd, I don't hate it. I just wish it was like back in the day. Yeah, I mean, times are a changing. I get it. Like, we can't have everything we had back in the day, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, maybe not this back in the day, maybe not 1986 back in the day, but you know, take a little bits from back in the day, condense things down, especially in 2023 when we have things like TikTok and Instagram and blah, 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 and 15-minute videos on YouTube. We do not have this attention span anymore. Like, we just don't. We have cell phones, we have Uber Eats. We don't have the attention span to watch. Maybe some of y'all do. I don't. I can't watch something weekly for 3 hours. And then Daniel, Piper basically didn't like the fact that Mr. T was an actor trying to step into the world and be a wrestler. That was pretty much it. Okay, fair. That's fair. And I guess like a lot of people have that same heat with like a Logan Paul, you know? These people commit their entire lives to the sport of wrestling, and then these people just step in from YouTube or TV shows and think they can do everything. Bill Chipper. Hi. Nia Jax is back on Raw. I did see that. So Nia Jax being back for me isn't all that interesting, but it's not interesting. Like, I didn't really, besides the whole, remember when Nia Jax was yelling about her hole, like she hit her butt and she kept screaming about her hole? That's really the only memorable thing that I have on Nia Jax, which, you know, isn't exactly a selling point for me. So the fact that she's back is like, I just kind of want to see where it goes. At this point, I don't care. She didn't interest me then. I barely noticed she was gone. And I know some people, their argument is, well, Rhea Ripley doesn't have a real believable opponent. But besides the fact Nia Jax is bigger, like she's 6 foot tall, and you know, I don't really see her as a believable opponent either, to be honest, because she just never did anything for me. So I don't really get it. Personally, don't really care if Nia Jax is back or not. I just kind of want to see where it goes. But Steve G, I don't like actors in wrestling either, especially when the actors beats the wrestler. It's just bad for business. I completely agree with that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you gonna? This person has yeah, like to have your wrestlers go through developmental and build their brand, build their character and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden just have Mr. T from the A-Team come in, or maybe not Mr. T, but like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny come in and beat your wrestlers is not a good look. Big Dog, got to tell this one. I work at a gas station. I had one guy buy $11, $13 scratch offs, paid cash, hundreds and fifties, didn't win a thing. Yeah, see, put that money in savings. Like, instead of buying these lottery tickets, why don't you just spend all the money you would on lottery tickets and put it into a savings account? You'd probably have more money that way. And it's a more, like, you will have that money. It's not a question of will you have that money. You will, because it's in your savings, you know? I've never understood. Sometimes I would play like the bingo scratch cards only because they're fun. Like I've done like maybe 3 times in my entire life. But yeah, I don't get it. But if you like to play the lottery, no hate, no shade. Big Dog, my hole. Honestly, the first couple of times she did that my whole thing, I did laugh. I found it pretty funny. Yeah, Big Dog happens a lot. A few gas stations had several people would stand there for hours buying scratch off tickets. You just want to buy a bottle of water, and these people are just scratching their tickets every single time. They'll just stand there where you're supposed to pay for your food and scratch tickets. So Roddy Piper is on his ass right now. And he's struggling to get up. Mr. T plowed him one. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Sorry. Do you have Lotto? Yeah, we have Lotto Max. I'm not 100% sure if it's the same. I know we had like a really big one. It was like $70 million. Somebody won it, but never claimed it, like ever. Like it just expired. I don't know. Daniel Price, I'm not entirely against celebrity appearances in wrestling, but some just shouldn't be in matches, like when they put Snooki in a match. Who did Snooki have a match with again? I do remember that. Fuck, what well, I guess we'll eventually get to that WrestleMania. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch that match on stream, to be completely honest with you guys. Not because it's going to be good, obviously. I can't remember what WrestleMania that was. Back when Jersey Shore was big, I guess. Big Dog, I've had people walk away from line because somebody playing too many lottery tickets. Lottery should have its own store and sell nothing. But that's the thing. The lottery store should have its own store. Or its own, like, sometimes we'll have a corner store with a post office off to the side. Like, they should do something like that. Because these lotto ticket people, I don't know anybody besides my work that plays it like, I don't even think they play it to win. I think they just do it for something fun to do. And if they win, they win. Like they don't take it that seriously. They'll buy one once a month or whenever it is. But and not even once a month. They say they do it like once every 5 months or something. But the people that I see at these little stores, especially in small town Ontario where I'm from, they go fucking hard on the scratch tickets. Roddy Piper, in his boxing gloves, just picked up his little boxing stool and threw it right at Mr. T. Okay, give me a sec here. Hold on a second. Let me close this down. Okay, there we go. Nia Jax versus Serena Deeb. Why? Do we need this? Snooki. So I didn't even click on your thing. I just read it in complete shock. Snooki had a match at Mania 27. She teamed with Trish Stratus and John Morrison to face Ziggler. Oh. That sounds really bad. I know I watched that WrestleMania, but I definitely, when I see it again, it's going to ring all the bells, but I must have. I mean, Mania 27, I don't know. I may have been drinking a lot at that point in my life because I don't really remember that. Thankfully. It makes a lot of money for the establishments to sell lottery and lotto tickets. Oh, for sure. Like it's just a money grab. That's all lotto tickets are. You're not going to win. Stop it. Okay, so this Mr. T Roddy Piper match, boxing match, doesn't suck completely. You can tell that Roddy Piper legit wants to kill Mr. T, though, because Mr. T did win, and Roddy Piper just jumped him, as you would, like you lose a match in wrestling, sometimes the loser attacks the winner. But this feels a little, this feels different. He hates him with a fiery, burning passion. Mr. T should not have won this match, though. This is fucking ridiculous. This was the match that ultimately turned Roddy Piper babyface. He's the best. He really, really is. And if anybody tells you otherwise, just let them know that they are wrong. Oh. So Roddy Piper pushed the ref and then body slammed Mr. T. Big dog, you gotta go. Time for work. Pray for my sanity. It's Mega Millions night. Oh my god. See you all Thursday and Friday for Impact and SmackDown. Love you, Luna. Be safe. Be safe. Don't go insane at Mega Millions night. Sorry. That's all I could say. But yeah, I will be back Thursday watching Impact 1000. Not one thing has been, because I know that they filmed it on not Thursday. They filmed it on Sunday, and they are showing it this Thursday. But nothing has been ruined for me so far, so I'm super excited. Still have a couple days, but we'll see. At least it wasn't Brawl for All, the most god-awful boxing gimmick. I'm gonna have to pull that up one day for sure, Daniel. Gonna have to do it. Big Dog, have a good day, Big Dog. See you on Thursday. Kathy Lee Crosby is here, looking fucking amazing, by the way. Oh my gosh. Chet, the ring announcer, Chet is here. Okay. Is this the Fabulous Moolah? Oh my God, it is. Moolah versus Velvet McIntyre for the women's. Is it for the women's championship title? Yes, it is. It is. So the Fabulous Moolah is the women's champion right now. She's about 77 years old. And man, she's good though. Like, I mean, we've probably all seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode with Fabulous Moolah, and she definitely has, her issues. But she's pushing 100. Like, what is? I wish I had this much energy at my age. Jesus. That was the fastest. It's over. That is crazy. The Fabulous Moolah just won at her big age in like 30 seconds. Like, what was the point? What was the reason for this match at WrestleMania? She literally won in like 30 seconds. How old is this woman in this? How old was Fabulous Moolah in 1986? Like, ma'am. That is nutty. Did that need to be at WrestleMania though? Okay, well, that just still have that 20-man over the top battle royal. She was 63. 63 years old. What was the reason? I'm actually like mad that happened. Just wasted my damn time. Natalya would go on to beat that record. Natalya holds the record for being defeated the quickest. When was that? Wasn't that recently? Oh my God, I don't care about this. There's some of these I don't care. Like I can't even pretend to care. Like Corporal Kritchner versus Nikola. I'm not gonna. Yeah, when was that? That was Natalia and was it Rhea Ripley? No, Trish. Fuck, I can't even remember. Another really quick match that I, no offense, kind of just went through, but Corporal versus Nicola. Corporal just won. Well, I guess the Nicola versus Corporal Krishner. I mean, that's a feel good. American flag was flown at the end of that. Fuck, man. I don't know people that are more patriotic, definitely, than Americans because y'all love your country. So moving on from that for a second. Oh, what is this now? Tony Atlas. Oh, he is a big boy. Ted R. Seat. I don't know who this guy is to be. Oh, that's why I have no idea who these people are. I was so confused. I'm like, who the are these people? These are the football players. That's what's happening right now. The NFL players square off against the best of WWF superstars. And I know people are very excited right now. Hillbilly Jim, let's go. King Tonga. Team America is pretty good encapsulation of how some people go. Yeah, Team America. Oh, the Iron Sheik is in the battle royal with the NFL players. Okay. All right. King Tonga, Hillbilly, and Iron Sheik. This is a very interesting team, to say the least. Team America is such a good movie, by the way. I love that movie. So ridiculous. Ernie Holmes. And the Killer Bees are on Team WWF. Oh, and it's John Studd again. I'm starting to like Big John Studd. I think I'm going to be a fan of his. He's growing on me. I don't love this. I already don't love like this 20-man battle royal WWF against the NFL. It's doing absolutely nothing for me. Oh, here's Bill Fralick from the Seahawks. I think that's I think I just made that up. Okay, so more people from the NFL. Who is my favorite tag team of all time? Of all time? Oh, Bruno Sammartino. Okay. My favorite tag team of all time is really hard. I don't know. Like like I love the Hardys back in the day, the Dudleys. Um, I really love Beer Money. I am a huge Beer Money fan. Like back in the day, TNA, like one of my favorites of all time. But also, I think really high on that list, if not number one, my one of my favorite tag teams. I think they're actually at number one is the Briscoes. I am a love the Briscoes. I love them in the ring. I love their promos. They make me laugh. I love what they would do, like their promos at the farm. Like overall, I just think they're so solid. And like R.I.P. Jay. Oh, that fucked me up so hard. When Jay Briscoe died, I couldn't talk for like a week. I don't know what happened to me. My whole life fell apart. It was awful. But yeah, like honestly, I know you probably like the Hardys or I don't know, but the Briscoes are probably my number one tag team of all time. I got to see them live once. It was fucking phenomenal. What are your thoughts about Nia Jax returning? She looks in great shape. Rocco. Again, I talked a little bit about this earlier. Her returning means absolutely nothing to me. I will see where it goes. I'm not like one of those people like, why is she here? But I also I just don't care that she's back, which might be worse. Like I have no feelings whatsoever. I like to say that she is a threat to Rhea Ripley to me personally. I don't see it. But yeah, like when it comes to Nia Jax, the fact that I have no feeling whatsoever might actually be worse. I don't know because I feel nothing. I don't want to hear her scream about her hole. I just I don't see her as a viable like competitor to Rhea Ripley in any sense of that. Rhea Ripley is on a different level when it comes to athletics. That being said, I want to see where it goes with her, but with Nia Jax, but I just at this point, like I could take her or leave her, you know. Boston, hi. There's the beard. Hello, Boston. You secretly own a beer cooler scooter like beer. No, but you know who does? My stepdad. And that's probably why I love Beer Money so much. They remind me of my family. Also, why I probably love the Briscoes so much because they also kind of remind me of my family. We're a little trashy over here in Canada. At least I am, I guess. I don't know. Uh, what's up, Steve? Steve. Sorry, hopefully, yeah, I know Baston. I keep freezing because we're having a storm here today. So I picked a wonderful day to come on today. So everything in my house is fine so far. My lights haven't went out, but my internet keeps freezing a little bit. So I'm just working through it. But yeah, like we've had trees in the city fall over. Not sure what's going on, but it's actually stopped raining around my house finally. It's very annoying. Bobby, hello. Good morning. Good. Well, I guess it's afternoon now. Oh my God, it's almost 1. I've been watching this forever. Uh-oh, hopefully you get all the toilet paper. Collect all the toilet paper. Get all the scratch tickets. Love it. But yeah, it's been a little, my internet's been a little cuddy today. It is what it is. You know what? I'm happy that my internet's cutting out during Wrestlemania 2 and not anything important. JK. This hasn't been as bad as everybody was leading me to believe. Hasn't been great either, but the match between Randy Savage and George Steele, still my favorite. I actually didn't mind the boxing match, though, between Mr. T and Roddy Piper. This match between WWF and the NFL, could have done without it. It's messy. I don't watch the NFL. So it does nothing for me. But I have been noticing that now that the NFL has started, the football season has started, a lot of pro wrestling fans are also football fans. I can't get into it, but I feel like also I should pick a team, you know? Feel like I feel left out. One of the football players just got kicked out. Boston. What's the Boston football team? Boston Celtics? Boston Edgar Allan Poe? Like, what is your football team called? Boston Red Sox? Somebody help me out here. I'm struggling. So what do you think of WrestleMania 2 so far? So Bobby, I went in. Oh, New England Patriots. That I literally have a New England Patriots sweater thing. I will bring it out and I will pretend to be a Patriots fan this year. The only reason I have it is because I got it from my dad. He's a huge New England Patriots fan. So yeah, WrestleMania 2 so far is actually, I went in with very low expectations because everybody was telling me it was like the worst. But it's not that bad. It's not that good either. Like I have fast forwarded through some matches, like 2. Because I'm not sitting here for 3 fucking hours watching this. I'm sorry. Which one? I fast forwarded through like one of the lower card ones because I was like, I'm not sitting here through this. Sorry. I'm not wasting my time and I'm not wasting yours. Baston, you're a Pats fan, Luna. We accept you. So if it's a New England thing, like what states are a part of New England? Like New Hampshire? Help. I know nothing. I'm too Canadian for this. Boston, like Connecticut, is that part of it? I don't know. I'll pull it out. Maybe I'll wear it on stream on Thursday and pretend I know what the fuck football is. And I'll just like start cheering for teams. Go football. But I used to watch a lot of football because of my dad. I don't know anything that's going on. I don't. Oh, Maine, Alexis. Maine. Maine is beautiful. Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont is New England. Oh, so maybe I am a New England fan. Maybe not the team, but I'm a fan of New England places. Like Connecticut's gorgeous, Maine, Massachusetts. Never been to New Hampshire or Vermont. Rhode Island is like one of my favorite places in the States. Hands down. I fucking love it there. So I'm just going to cheer for New England because it's a good place to be. Vermont looks beautiful. I would love to go to Vermont one day for sure. Andre the Giant is here and he's going after the Hart Foundation. All of the football players are now out of the ring, which I'm happy about because I know nothing about any of those people. I know so little about football, especially football from 1986. So I'm glad I don't have to remember. Connecticut is iffy. I guess it counts. Oh, the 20-man Royal Rumble Battle Royal, sorry. Andre the Giant just won. Has anybody ever heard anything bad about Andre the Giant? Like being an asshole, being a degen, anything? They're all NY fans for the most part. People from Connecticut? They're technically New England, but fuck, what did Connecticut do to you, sir? What is your problem? What did Connecticut do? He had a temper when he drank, that's about it, but don't we all? I mean, so technically Andre the Giant is all of us. Understood. Andre called Bad News Brown and oh. Okay, maybe Andre the Giant is not all of us because I don't like that, but I feel like Andre the Giant's kind of like, now I don't want to say anything. Like he seems like a good person, but you don't say that either. So, woo! All right, little touchy subject. Most of them are NY fans from what I've seen, but some of them are Boston fans. I'm a huge Boston fan because of my dad was obsessed with like he was a New England's fan, New England Patriots. He was a Boston Bruins fan. He was I think that's pretty much it. I don't think he watched baseball, like those two. So I grew up watching a lot of them, and that's why I started going to Massachusetts in the first place, because Boston was his favorite place on the planet, and that man traveled a lot. So I just grew up loving Massachusetts, especially. So I'm just this year, I'm going to try and watch football for my dad and be a New England Patriots fan. I'm just going to cheer for them because everybody else is watching football. Please don't tell me you're a Canadiens fan or a Leaf fan. I'm not a Leaf fan. I wasn't allowed to be a Leaf fan, but I am a Habs fan. I'm Canadian. What do you want from me? I've got to pick one Canadian team. You want me to be a Canucks fan? I don't think so. Nay. I'm on the East Coast, We have very little to choose from, either the Leafs or the Habs. I'm not cheering for the Leafs with this nerd, okay? It's not going to happen. I barely like this city, let alone their teams. Actually, you know what? Oh, the Iron Sheik. Hey. Yeah, like even when I'd rather be a Jets fan or if I was going to choose another team on the West Coast, I'd be an Oilers fan. Is that okay? Can I be an Oilers fan? I go to Oilers games every season. I should be going to their preseason next year, actually, in Edmonton. Fan of Detroit teams, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings. Whew. Motor City Machine Guns, if you will. Oilers are fine. Okay. I'm an Oilers fan then. We'll keep it there. Habs Bruins rivalry isn't what it used to be anyways. Yeah, didn't they have like a big thing? And my dad was a fan of both of them. Very odd. Leafs and Bruins have a bigger one now. Yeah, the Leafs, I don't know. I used to be a fan when I was a little kid of the Leafs, but that really wasn't allowed in my household with my dad. He really hated Toronto. That's probably why I'm growing up into a bitter Toronto hater. He just like beat it into me. Not actually, but who's this? Leafs Bruins for sure. Habs Leafs haven't been good at the same time since the 90s. Hear that, KJ? No one likes Toronto. Toronto's pretty awful. Yeah. Living here, cheering for their teams. Greg Valentine. No, Toronto's okay. Toronto, the city's all right. Daniel Price, I shan't. I shan't. I don't know why. Blasphemy against Toronto, since that's where kids in the, you know what? Kids in the Hall and the OG Degrassi, top tier Toronto right there, actually. Is that Ozzy Osbourne? Ozzy Osbourne's here. Kids in the Hall was so good. I know they came out with a new one. I haven't watched it yet, but haters gonna hate. When it comes to Toronto, I will talk mad shit. But honestly, Toronto's a pretty good city to visit. I will say that. But living here stinks. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. Ozzy Osbourne's here in his salmon suit, and I am absolutely loving it. Boston. I'm sure it's a nice city filled with hope that is crushed yearly. I could not have said it better myself. That's exactly what Toronto does. Gets you excited, and then it just crushes your soul slowly, year to year, until you're a shell of a person. Drake's stomping grounds. Yeah, we have Drake. We have Kids in the Hall. What else do we have? I was going to say Trailer Park Boys, but we don't have that. That's the East Coast. But Drake, you know what? I'm not a huge fan of his music, but he does a lot of great things for the city. So I appreciate him for that. Tried to keep like some smaller businesses open during COVID and stuff, and he opened a huge music hall here. That's been good for the community, kind of, but I appreciate what he does for our city. Look at Ozzy. Looks so young. Look, you've never watched Trailer Park Boys? This is the second person. Anthony, the guy that is with me on Thursdays now, he's never seen Trailer Park Boys either. That is terrible. That is one of the best shows that has ever been on television. I don't care what anybody says. You gotta try again. You gotta. Is it because of the low quality? Because it gets better. Like after season 1, they really step up. You should try again because it's really good. Okay, so what are we looking at right now? Greg the Hammer Valentine, Brutus Beefcake versus the British Bulldogs, and this is for the tag team title match. And the Hammer and Brutus Beefcake are right now champions, so the British Bulldogs are competing, and I really hope they win. I can't do it. Just doesn't do anything for me. You probably had a really great childhood. That's probably why. You need to be a little more fucked up for that show. I don't know. Maybe that's it. The episode where they kidnapped Alex Lifeson was great. Oh my God. And what's his name? What's his nuts from the band that really likes trains? Oh my God. What's his name? Is he from Whitesnake? Oh my God. And he always fights with Chris Jericho online. The guy from the hair metal band. Anyway, Sebastian Bach. Thank you. Sebastian Bach is on Trailer Park Boys and he's obsessed with trains. Like, at least watch that episode, for the love of God, Boston, because it's so good. This fucking voice. Trains. Like, I can't. How you can't get into it? I don't know. It's just so good. Am I going to watch NXT tonight? I am going to be watching NXT tonight. Not on here, because I did not sleep very well last night. That's why I'm a little manic, because I was up all night with a girl from my work because she's trying to go to Alberta and she's never flown since she was a kid. So she's never had to book her own flight. She's like 30 years old. She doesn't know how to use the internet very well or something. I don't know why it was so confusing to buy airfare from one part of Canada to the next. But I was up until like 2:00 in the morning. And she didn't understand why she had to pay for luggage. She's like 30. Anyways, it was a lot. She didn't understand what like personal luggage was either, and like carry on. I love this girl to death, but she's very like sheltered. She's literally a 30-year-old virgin. She's never drank before in her entire life. She still lives with her parents. It's like a cultural thing as well. Like, she's from Afghanistan. So like she doesn't do anything for herself. So she was like, fuck it. I'm going to figure this out and do stuff for myself, do something on my own for once. And I was super proud of her. So like, I'm not complaining. It was a lot. She was like holding a child's hand through it. So, but I'm super proud she's doing it. She's going with a friend. It's the first time she's ever traveled as an adult. So good for her taking steps You got to start somewhere, but holy shit. I didn't realize how little she knew about traveling. Like she lived in Afghanistan, then they moved to Russia. And then from Russia, when she was like 8 years old, she moved to Canada. So like she hasn't traveled since. She's never been away from her cat for too long. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. Daniel, Universal. What's Universal? People not doing things for themselves? Because that also, yeah, it's not just cultural, but because of her culture, she doesn't like leave her parents a lot. She's lived at home her entire life, which, isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that. It's just she's never left Toronto, like really, in her adult life. So, I mean, good for her. But yeah, it was a trip. It was like a 3-hour thing of me explaining why she, like, what bags mean what. It was a lot. Anyways, back to Wrestlemania 2. British Bulldogs, not doing so well right now. Greg Valentine has one of the British Bulldogs in a headlock right now. Farthest I've traveled out of New England is Ohio in my adult life. When I retire, I plan on buying a bus and turning it into a mobile home and traveling every state in the U.S. That is a really good idea. You should definitely start with your own country. And I feel like with the states, it's so interesting because all the states are so different. Like Canada, we have like variations of Canada, but you guys have Alabama, New York, Utah. Like these aren't even the same planet. Arkansas and New York, you're telling me those are in the same fucking country? It's crazy to me. Crazy. And that's why I love it so much. I would love to do exactly what you're saying, like buy a bus and go from the States down through Central America. And then you can kind of do the Panama Canal. Like you can take a ferry or something with your vehicle and go down into South America. That is the dream right there. I have done a bus across Canada. I did from Ontario to the Northwest Territories. We got TO, Quebec, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland. Yeah. But I'm saying like they're very like they look very different, right? Like Saskatchewan and Newfoundland are completely different places. But I feel like if you go to Saskatchewan and you go to Newfoundland, like the people are very similar in a way. You know what I mean? And our provinces are so big. Like Canada's a huge country. Like when you go through Manitoba to Saskatchewan, you're like, this is huge, but you're looking at flat, And then you get to Alberta and it's pretty flat until you get into Banff and all that stuff. And then you get into BC and it's beautiful. You have the ocean, you have the mountains, you have all that stuff. But I'm just saying, like, when you go from Florida to Arkansas and you have that, and then you get into New York, it's like, doesn't even feel like the same planet in terms of architecture, the people. Trying to say this very nicely right now, like Little Rock, Arkansas to New York, just feels like a very different vibe. But when I go from like Newfoundland, like I have a friend that lives there now, to Saskatchewan, it's kind of the same vibe-ish, even though they look very different. Like Newfoundland is very like rocky, like not mountainous, but like rolling hills. It's very pretty. Saskatchewan is very flat, flat, flat. That being said, Canada is very beautiful. And if you have a chance to go across it, you should. But yeah, the States is like strange. It's very, and because like each state is pretty small as well. So you're like traveling between states pretty quickly comparatively to like Ontario. It takes 24 hours to get through the whole thing. You know? Does that make sense? Drove through Texas Panhandle. May look short on the map. Texas? Yeah, no, Texas is huge though. Texas is humongous. There are some states that are huge for sure. Like how long California is? Absolutely. The only place I care to go outside of North America is Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad. So bad. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to Bolivia. I want to go to Fiji. I want to go to so many fucking places. Like I could sit here all day. I really, in the States though, I've been to a few states like Vegas, California, a lot on the East Coast, been to Louisiana. I'm missing some in there, but anyway, New York. But one place I want to go to in the States really, really, really bad is New Mexico and Utah, because I heard Utah's really pretty. So British Bulldogs still ain't looking good against Brutus Beefcake and Valentine right now. It ain't looking good for the British Bulldogs. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. But oh my God. Daniel, if you go to China, dress up as Humpty and sit. What? Why did I even click on that comment, Daniel? I'm not. Somebody else do it, Boston, because I heard the meth in on New Mexico is fantastic. I've been off the meth for about 10 years now, so I'll take a pass, but I will take your word for it. I've never seen Breaking Bad either, so there's probably a joke in there somewhere. But I'll skip it. Daniel. Somebody do it and take a video. But I heard New Mexico, the art is really good. I want to go to Meow Wolf real bad, but I don't want to smoke the meth. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico is a real place. Blasted Jactus. Oh. Hold on. I got to rewind that for a sec. I missed what happened. Somebody just won and people are freaking the fuck out. Okay. Let's try that again. Sorry, New Mexico is a real place. Blasted Cactus Jack's theme when I drove through it, as you should. Was it a nice place? Did you like it? I'm glad you at least got the reference. I've heard a lot. I missed it again. Boston, come on. You're messing it up. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Don't hate me. I missed it again. I don't know who won or why. Okay, hold on. But I did get the reference. I do want to. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey. So the British Bulldogs did win. Valentine hit his head, fell over. He literally knocked himself out. And the British Bulldogs won the tag team titles. Love that for us. The irony is fully grew up on Long Island. I want to go to Long Island too. Honestly, I just want to go everywhere. I'm pretty happy to travel at all times. To be completely frank, I want to go fucking everywhere. Besides, like, I don't really want to go to China. I don't want to go to like North Korea, not South Korea. I do kind of want to go to South Korea. North Korea, obviously, I'll probably skip it. Australia doesn't really tickle me at all, but I have family that live, extended family that live in Australia, so I'll probably end up there one day. But I will travel everywhere. I've been to a lot of places so far, but New York was cool. I'd like to go to upstate and visit. I want to visit the Amish so bad. But my problem is, like, if I go visit the Amish, I probably want to stay. Probably just stay with the Amish upstate New York. Daniel Price, yeah, this was around the time they started majorly pushing the Bulldogs. Then Dynamite Kid started acting a fool, and then they pushed Baby Boy solo. It's too bad because Dynamite Kid, I know he acted a fool, but he was super fucking talented. Was it on Instagram? I just put up my Dynamite Kid shirt. Australia is cool if you feel like dying because of the heat, probably, and the bugs and the desert. Yeah, I'm sure Australia is beautiful. I have a friend who lives by Cornell, and she says there's witch covens everywhere. What's Cornell? Sorry, I think I missed something. In Australia? Australia's got way too many animals that can kill you. Yeah. They also, what's that bird called? There's a bird in Australia. I will get the name of it. But like people have to wear helmets with spikes on them when they ride their bike because these birds just come down and try to like swoop on your head and like peck you. Hang tight, folks. We're good. Yeah, I explained my technical errors today. Hopefully that fixes itself. Magpie, yes, magpie. Those motherfuckers. I've seen videos of them, and they swoop down at your head while you're riding your bike. Upstate New York, there are witch covens there. Okay. Maybe I will fit in. Maybe I will stay in the States. Maybe I will. When I go to Massachusetts, I stay in Salem, Massachusetts, because I'm a spooky bitch and I like that stuff. But also my friend lives there. She married an American boy and he just like grew up there. So I got really lucky to have a friend that's been living there for like 10 years now. So I get to stay in Salem, Massachusetts, where all the covens are. And it makes me really happy. So. Actually, what day is it today? It is Tuesday. Next week, I should be doing my Spirit Halloween haul. Finally decided to open. So all my spooky stuff. I wonder if Vince McMahon Jr. used to be a good person. You know? Because, like, he looks like such a nice guy here. Wonder if he just got all effed up, you know? I don't know. And again, I'm a really bad judge of character. Oh my God, it's Elvira. Oh my God. It's Jesse the Body Ventura and Elvira right now. I'm so happy. This just made the entire pay-per-view worth it. It's like the queen of my life. Woo, Boston. I'm so excited. I just fangirled. They should give her the mic though, because this is ridiculous. Boston, I'm about an hour from Salem. I've been there once, enjoyed it, but it's insane around Halloween. Yeah, you can't go to Salem, Massachusetts in October, like at all, because it's just insane. I It's spooky all year round. The only difference in October is they have like the street festival with like a Ferris wheel and stuff. I don't care about that. But it takes forever. You have to line up just to get into a store, and then the stores are packed. I don't know. I don't love Salem, Massachusetts in October. You can go any time of year and it's spooky, So there's no point. Yeah. Me and my friend were in Salem, Massachusetts in October years ago. And the streets were packed. We couldn't get in any stores, but we stopped to look at our phone for a minute to see like what direction we were going. And the cops pulled up so fast and they were like, "You can't loiter here." And we got yelled at. And they told us if we stopped again that they could like arrest us. It's like, sir, the city of Salem hates October for sure. Money can do a lot to a man for sure. Vince has always had a chip on his shoulder from a young age. He didn't know his real dad until way later, and he grew up with this abusive stepdad. Yeah, but you can like have a shitty childhood and still be a good person, Not saying he's a good person right now. Completely disagree with that. But you should visit Martha. Do you want the Impact Wrestling version of Wrestlemania? Of Wrestling for Life Network to be Star Wars music type intro during Impact streams only? No. No, thank you. You should visit Martha's Vineyard where Jaws was filmed. It looks so pretty. Yeah, I've never been there, but when I go to Salem, I'm usually visiting my friend. So we end up in Marblehead. Most of the time. There we go. Yeah, so I am usually visiting her, so we usually jam pack our day full of spooky stuff and go to the cemetery. But yeah, I want to go there, and I want to go to Maine again. One of the first times I ever went to Salem, Massachusetts, I went to Maine. Was it Maine? No, not Maine. I'm thinking of Cape Cod. And we also went to Fall River. So Boston, if you're from Massachusetts, you know what Fall River is. It's creepy as hell, and not in a good way. I went there to go see the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast. And then they told me to walk up the street to go to the cemetery where the Borden family was buried, because I am like that and wanted to see it. And Fall River is no joke. No joke. Do not ever walk around Fall River morning, night, at all. Thankfully, I was not by myself at this time. This was the first time I went to Salem, Massachusetts, probably like 11 years ago. I've been going ever since. I just wanted to see the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast because apparently it's super haunted. If you don't know the story of Lizzie Borden, I can give you the rundown. If you do, whatever. But holy shit, that place is scary. We only walked from the bed and breakfast up to the cemetery. Took about like 7 minutes, and it was the scariest fucking 7 minutes of my life. And I am from Toronto. I have seen some shit. Never again. There is a whole documentary about like Fall River murders or something, and no thank you. If this channel was Star Wars theme, KJ would be like, "Man, I'm way too drunk to use the Force right now." Gross, I dated a girl from Fall River and was never the same. I hope you got checked. That's all I'm saying about that. Seed money, 40 wax with a wet noodle. That whole story of Lizzie Borden. So right now we're watching a match. Sorry. why I'm not paying attention. It's Hercules Hernandez versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and I don't really care that much, to be honest. That whole story about Lizzie Borden was really interesting to see, like, how women, were kind of treated back then, but also on the other hand, like how they were treated, but like they couldn't believe that women would commit a murder. So they just didn't believe she did it because she was essentially a woman, but she totally did it. You're good. I am so happy to hear. Yeah, Fall River is one of the scariest. Besides Fall River and Louisiana are two of the scariest places I've ever been in my entire life. Money, 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 money. But yeah, so Fall River, don't go there unless you have a car. We did not. We took some sort of bus from Boston to Fall River, or a train or something. Their subway system. The subway system, though, in Massachusetts is phenomenal. So Hercules is absolutely beating the hell out of Ricky right now, by the way. Don't go to New Bedford either. Where's that? Is that in Massachusetts? Actually, there's another place in Massachusetts that was really scary, but thankfully I was in a car, but it smelled so bad. It was Lynn, Massachusetts. Also not my favorite. Daniel, Lizzie Borden versus Elizabeth. Oh my God. Good. I like the reference there, Daniel. I don't know who would win. Crazy bitch on yeah, it's in Mass. Rever? Rever? I don't know what that is. There's a lot of really gross places in Massachusetts. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice places. Marblehead is freaking stunning. Boston is one of the cleanest big cities I've ever seen in my entire life. But like the outskirts of those places, that's why you got to go to South Shore. It's way better. Just stay away from a lot of places in Massachusetts, y'all. Because when it gets bad, when you make that wrong turn. Somebody said there's like, I told somebody I went to Lynn when I was back in Salem, and they had like a whole poem about Lynn, like Lynn, the city of sin. You never came out the way you went in or something. And I was like, oh, good thing I didn't step out of the car in Lynn. Ravier. What up, brada? What up, brada? Ricky Steamboat just beat Hercules Hernandez in what was the most boring match of my entire life of watching pro wrestling. I did not care for that whatsoever. I'm going to have to do some ups and I think like, cause I do kind of a review of WrestleManias on my own channel after I watch them. I think I'm just going to do some ups and downs. And that gets a golden down. Ricky Steamboat versus Hercules Hernandez gets 3 golden downs from me because that just made me want to die. I almost fast forward. See, money, more like Jercules. Stop. Oh, those am I right jokes get me every time. Okay. Jimmy Hart. What are we doing? Once you go through all 39 manias, are you going to rank them best to worst or worst to best? I think I was planning on it. I should start writing them down so I kind of remember. So far, this is the worst just because of that match. I'm offended that Ricky Steamboat was in that match. Offended. It was Jesus. What the fuck am I watching? But yeah, We Are Pro Wrestling. I for sure, I think I'm going to do that. Like, why not? I'm watching all of them, right? Can't wait for Mania in Boston. That's my favorite Mania. Stone Cold winning the championship from Shawn Michaels. What year is that? What year is that? Huh? Okay. So now we have Uncle Elmer versus adorable Adrian Adonis, and it's everything I've ever wanted and more in a match. It hasn't even started yet, but I absolutely love this. This is fucking great. Adorable Adonis versus Uncle Elmer. Pack it up. Best match on the card. Love this already. Don't need to see anything else. 98. I was going to say 97, but 98, I will take your word for it. Wrestlemania 2 was the deuce so big it took more than one arena to contain all that dookie. Uncle Elmer and adorable Adonis, though. I am so happy for no fucking reason. Undertaker, Daniel Price. Undertaker told Michaels that if he didn't do the job for Austin, that he'd be waiting for him in the gorilla after the match to kick his ass. I have heard that. The Undertaker was like the dad everybody needed. You know? Put his foot down. You weren't going to fuck with that man. I love The Undertaker. He's still not in my top 20, but WrestleMania 14 in 98, I'm positive. Oh, for sure. You're probably right. In my head, it was 97 before you said that, but this is very strange. Adorable age. Can somebody. Adorable Adrian. Somebody hit me with what is going on right now. Somebody from the 80s, tell me what the fuck is happening. I think I'm going to need mental health help after this pay-per-view. Like, should I know who this is? This adorable Adonis guy? Because I'm actually kind of scared. It's giving. It's reminding me of this movie called Forbidden Zone, actually. if was Ventura's tag team partner for long, and then he went solo with an ultra flamboyant gimmick. Oh, sorry, I have to click on this. Sorry. I'm just like Adonis. He was Ventura's. I hate it. I went from liking it because I thought it was going to be weird to like now I'm just like I feel really uncomfortable. To be honest. They did a Dark Side of the Ring on him. Oh, did they? Okay, I have not watched. He won. That's nice. I haven't watched the. I stopped watching Dark Side of the Ring after Doink the Clown. Not because I wanted to, but because my summer got super fucking busy and I've been working a lot. So I will have to pull that up immediately because I need to know. Yeah, there's this movie called Forbidden Zone, and it's Danny Elfman had a band called Oingo Boingo and the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo, and they made this movie, and it's called Forbidden Zone, and it is the most uncomfortable fucking movie you'll ever watch in your entire life, in your entire existence. Danny Elfman is the guy that made like music for Tim Burton movies and stuff. Yeah, he made a movie like was it the 80s, like the early 80s with Oingo Boingo, and it is just like makes you feel nauseous watching this movie. But anyway, it reminds me of this adorable Adonis guy. Oh, Terry Funk. Here we go. Elfman's a great movie music composer, but as a person, he did some questionable and uncomfortable things. Like what? What did he do? Hoss Funk and Terry Funk. Now this is exciting. Now I can get behind this. Against Santana and the Junkyard Dog. Okay. Stepping it up a little bit. Let's get excited. Finally. Get past that Adonis person. Terry Funk ain't wear no mouthpiece. Bruiser Brody don't wear no goddamn mouthpiece. But Terry Funk, definitely. That was my Jay Briscoe voice, by the way. So, Junkyard Dog is here. Junkyard Dog, and I know he had a episode on Dark Side of the Watch. Oh, Terry Funk looks so young. Danny Elfman had some accusations. Well, I know he also called out Hollywood as well for said accusations. And he actually wrote a song with Oingo Boingo called Little Girls about creepy men in Hollywood. So I'm going to have to look into that, but sometimes I'm not going to talk about that on here actually, but I will look into that. But it's maybe he was deflecting. I don't know, because I've never heard that before with him. But men in Hollywood. Take that as you will. Terry. Yeah, I don't like this guy though. He was on the first WrestleMania as well. Tito Santana. Not doing it for me, but we'll see. Maybe he'll grow on me. We'll see how the rest of his WrestleManias go if he's on another one after this. But tell me, I don't know, you guys like Tito Santana? Let me know some stuff to watch. Woo! Oh, Terry Funk looks so little. He looks so young. Probably wasn't even. Daniel Price, would it help to know that Tito later tagged with a Canadian? Ooh, what Canadian? Let me know. Maybe that would help. Maybe it would. Jimmy Hart was just out here with the adorable Adonis, and now he's out here again with his megaphone. Did we need you here again, sir? Who else are you managing? Rick Martel. Oh, okay. All right. I'll look into that. Can-Am Connection. Okay. Junkyard Dog is giving her right now to Terry Funk. I am super excited to watch the Dark Side of the Ring with Junkyard Dog. I need to know. This is one wrestler that I do know from 1980 fucking 6. But I want to know everything. I want to know the backstory on this man. So if you did watch the Dark Side of the Ring with Junkyard Dog, let me know how it is. Let me know. Hoss Funk. The Funks better win this. That's all I'm saying. I can't. I've been disappointed too much in this pay-per-view. But I have a bad feeling. So this year is WrestleMania 2 is 1986. So we're getting into the 90s in 4 years. I am so stoked that we are almost already out of the 80s because I don't know how much more of this I can do. But I want to watch them all. I'm not going to skip any. Junkyard and Savage both passed away. Heart attack while driving. Can-Am Connection. And that is for Rick, Martel, and Tito. Tito. Are we going to see any more Matt Bourne soon? Where's he at? Maybe the next time we see him at WrestleMania, it will be a Doink the Clown. They did this pay-per-view really weird, too. Like, they're putting the smaller matches at the end, and then I guess, like, Hulk Hogan. All right, let's go. Terry Funk and all of his hair, too. It makes me so happy. Man, what a weird week that was. Like, losing Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt within, like, a day of each other. Jesus Christ. Now watching this and, oh, so sad. Matt Bourne was in WrestleMania 1 with Steamboat. Yeah, I watched that last week. I'm just wondering if we're going to see him again, like, going forward. That isn't Doink the Clown at a WrestleMania. Probably not, no? No, I actually loved that match with Matt Bourne and Ricky Steamboat. Matt Bourne isn't on another WrestleMania. Terry Funk just got thrown through a table and it didn't break. They didn't do that back then. Matt Bourne, yeah, I want to see more Matt Bourne stuff. I'm going to have to look into that this week when I have time. Whenever I have time, because I'm going to work on my day off on Thursday morning, because I told my client I would do her hair didn't have. Oh. Oh, Jimmy Hart just threw the megaphone to Terry Funk, and he just hit Junkyard Dog over the head with it. 1, 2, 3. And it's over. Finally, this pay-per-view is giving me something. So the Funks won the match. Thank you, Jimmy Hart. I don't care how you win, just win the goddamn thing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this isn't exactly a WrestleMania that I think I'll be watching again. I think I'll probably skip this one in the future. But I'm very happy that the Funks won. Terry Funk watching over me. Thank you, sir, for winning this match in 1986, 1800s. All right. Now we're getting Hulk Hogan versus, I think, we're getting Hulk Hogan in the back right now with Mean Gene. Hulk Hogan is lifting some weights. Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy, the human thumb. Let's go. This is the main event, by the way. King Kong. I'm not even 100% sure what's happening in this match. Hulk Hogan is just getting body slammed. Hulk Hogan was losing his hair in 1986. Like, sir. Wait, what is this? What is this? Did I miss a match? Like, oh no, this is it. This is the WWF title match with Hogan versus King Kong Bundy, but they are in a steel cage. It does not say steel cage on here, but it is a steel cage match. And I have never been this unenthused about a main event in my entire life. So we're just gonna watch this very quickly because I don't Like, I don't know. Times haven't changed, you know. There's not much about this that really excites me. And probably because I'm not huge on, like, knowledgeable on this storyline, but like I couldn't care less about this. Watch the human egg attempts to climb the cage to escape the human hot dog. How deep into these manias do you think you'll start regretting this decision? I really have been questioning everything today. So I think once I get to the 90s and things keep getting more and more like chaotic, but this is just not my cup of tea, you know? Oh, so Hulk Hogan did beat the human thumb. So I kind of watched that on 2 speed. I'm not going to lie to you because I just don't. You know what? I have to get through 39 of these. And the human hot dog versus the human thumb did not do anything for me. I'm not going to sit there and put myself through that kind of hell. So that match happened. Hulk Hogan did win, which, like, did anybody think King Kong Bundy was going to win the main event at Mania against Hulk Hogan? I sure didn't. Buy one doink, get 7 mini doinks for free. I want that. Like, I want little doinks. But so yeah, no. I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. Boston, unless you get the nostalgia vibes, these old school WWF pay-per-views are a snooze. Yeah. Yeah, once you get to the Attitude Era, it should be a lot easier too. Old school wrestling has its place, but for me, the Attitude Era and after is but hopefully number 3 is better. And we're getting closer to the 90s. But yeah, these 80s ones, I'm glad I'm watching them because I got to see Matt Bourne. I'm like starting to like some of the wrestlers from back then that I want to get into more of their matches. But overall, it's a hard watch. But anyways, so I'll be back for part 3. I'm going to try and do a Sunday, so I'm not doing all mornings, but I'm going to see when I can do part 3. And try and get through that. And hopefully, you know, I won't be sitting through a rainstorm and my internet won't be cutting out. And yes, don't forget NXT tonight live stream with, I think it's Big Nicholas and KJ. And then Wednesday is Dynamite. And then Thursday is Impact 1000, which I'm super excited for. Please don't ruin anything for me on any other social media platforms because I've stayed out of it so far. But I will be back on Thursday, and I will be back at some point next week for Wrestlemania 3. God fucking help me. Why am I doing this? But I'm having somewhat of a good time. I am. I'm super happy I'm doing this. I promise. But I am losing my mind a little bit. So once we get past Hulk Hogan, this is going to be a fucking dream. Once we get into Vince Russo era, I'm going to be laughing. See you on Thursday. And see you guys tonight for NXT. I'm super excited. I will be watching the show as well. I will also be in the chat for that. Having a good old time. See y'all later.